start by opening the Adobe Illustrator program. It's just this AI one here. Once that's opened, open up artboard. So I'll get rid of this one, and we want to go to File first. So once you're in the File tab, click New. Alright, now these are all your different templates. The template we want is the one over here, the print template, and just choose the A4 preset. Next thing you're going to want to do once you're here is you're going to want to change the points to millimeters. And then we're going to change the dimensions of our page to the standard size of a laser cutter bed, which is 600 width and 300 height. And you don't have to do this, but I like to add a bit of bleed on the sides. That makes sure we avoid the edges. Then the last thing you want to do, and probably the most important thing, is change the color mode to RGB color, not CYMK color. And then this is ready to go. The dimensions of your page will vary from laser cutter to laser cutter. The first thing I'll teach you is how to use the line tool. Just click on it. If it's not showing up, if it's square or something, click and hold and go down to the line segment tool. Or you can press slash on your keyboard. So the first way we want to do this is by clicking and letting go. Now this allows you to choose the length and angle at which your line will be made at. So we're going to choose 0 as our angle, and that's just a straight line horizontally across the screen. And click OK, and there's your line. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to click, drag, and drop. And there we got another line. And we'll do it again. And this time make sure it's intersecting with both that line that we just made and the line that we first made. So click, drag, and drop at the anchor point. Yep. And we're going to do it one more time, but we're going to click on this anchor point and let go, just like we did the first time, and choose 100 again, because we know that that is the same length and angle of which the top line is at. So that should perfectly go to that one. Yep. Alright, next thing I'm going to show you is the selection tool. This allows us to select all the lines at once if you just drag a box over it. So click, drag, and drop, and then we selected all of these lines. Now I'm going to show you how to make these lines recognizable by the laser cutter so that it will actually cut the lines. So the thing we want to do here is make these lines red instead of black, because when the laser cutter comes over the lines, it will see either red or black, and it will cut red and it will engrave black. So we're going to choose red, and we're going to create a new swatch over here. And we're just going to drag it to the extremities and make sure that's in RGB color. So once that's dragged to the extremities, that's our pure red, and that's what the laser cutter will recognize in order to cut. So now that that's done, the stroke color is red. We're going to change the stroke size to 0.001 and click enter on that. Yep. And you can click out of it. As you can see, it's quite faint now, but it's still there, and the laser cutter is going to cut those lines. Now I'm going to show you how to create an engraving. So we're going to use the text tool. It's just this T over here, and you can click and hold to get the type tool if it's not there immediately, and you're just going to click, drag, and drop the text box just like any normal one on your Word doc, and you're just going to type your name into it. Alright, you can also increase the font size over here in your properties menu. Let's go to 20 font size, maybe even 30. Yep. And we're going to click out of it and get back to the selection tool and drag it to the middle, and we're going to change it to pure black stroke. So click black and then go into new swatch, and we want to go again to the extremities but on the bottom side. So that should be a pure black, which the laser cutter will recognize and engrave. Alright. Last thing I want to show you is how to embed an image. So I've got this pre-prepared image over here. It's a bike. I'm going to click, drag and drop it into our Adobe Illustrator program, and we're going to first crop the image. So you can right click on the image and crop the image, and just press OK on that. Alright, crop that image, and we're going to press apply. And the final thing we'll do is we're going to click on image trace in the properties section over here. Image trace, and I'm just going to choose line art, but you can choose whichever one you want. And then the last thing you're going to want to do is click expand, which will allow you to edit the photo, the separate points on the photo. And we're just going to make sure that that's pure black so that it will get engraved. Yeah, so this is why you got to check, go into RGB, and yep, that's pure black. So press OK, and we're going to change the point size to 1. And we're going to drag it so it will fit inside our box. I'll make it a bit smaller so it can fit my name too. And I might move the name up a little. So when the laser cutter comes by and it sees this red, it's going to start cutting in a line and around it in a box. So it'll cut this out as like a nameplate almost. And then it'll come along and it'll hit this black part and it'll start engraving. And it'll hit this black part and it'll start engraving again. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to print this as if we had the laser cutter here. And we're going to select the printer and we're going to choose the laser cutter as our printer. We're also going to change it to the placement to the top left corner, I like to do, and depending on our laser cutter we'll have to change a few other settings, but that's dependent on the laser cutter. And then you want to just hit print to send it off to the laser cutter.